Hello, and welcome back to Strongwoman Highs - Life is a Mishmash.
It does get better.
A perfect beginning.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Becca.
I'm Jenny. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
That's Eddie.
Eddie's here also. So if I suddenly scream, it's because there's a cat here. And it's hopefully, well, I'm hoping it's not going to attack me, but...
She's going to be fine. Unless you suddenly turn into a chicken.
Unless you suddenly turn into a chicken. So I think on today's podcast, we're going to do a little bit of a general life update, and we follow on from our previous one. And then we'll do some of our usual silly goosering.
Yeah.
We have a couple of, a few little bits of strongman things that we might discuss, we might get into. We'll see how we feel as we go on, I guess. And see how it goes. So, following on from last time, how did your ultra go?
I didn't finish it.
Oh, bum.
DNF.
Oh, no. To be fair, it was a fairly big ask.
Well, if you don't dream big, you don't dream at all, do you? So
I agree. I liked that you just went out and fucking did it. Who cares?
You gotta see, don't you? It's like, I don't know, getting into strongman, you do a competition. Well, I'm not strong enough to do the competition. It doesn't matter. You just got to do the fucking thing so that you can actually see how you fare.
100%.
And then you can work on what you need to improve.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm actually running every day.
My God.
Going up hills regularly. And yeah, it's all good, man.
Yeah. How did it go then? What happened? Give us a rundown.
My will to live left. It was mint, honestly. So we started at, I think it was 3:30 in the morning. We met at 3:20 at the George Fisher, and we set off at past. And it was pitch black. It was gorgeous. It was so quiet. I'd stayed in Keswick the night before, and it's just such a busy town, man. There's so many people in the lakes.
Yeah.
It's revolting, really. But I totally get why a lot of people flock there.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. It was really peaceful. I could see so many stars. It was glorious. Cat Bells was pretty easy. Like, I went up that with Ben, and I think when I was with Ben, I found it a lot harder. Not anything to do with pace, just because I'd already experienced it. I'd been a bit fitter the second time.
Coming, yeah.
So we did that, and somebody was whiting already, which was hilarious.
Oh, no.
He'd had 3 pints or something in the pub the night before, and he'd had a whole pizza and some pasta and stuff.
Bad setup for an ultra.
That's terrible. So he was fucking honking his guts up behind me somewhere. But at some point I slowed down to his pace.
Oh.
Yeah, it just got bad. But legitimately one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life, because it was so very present. I could not think about anything, but because some of the paths were so sketchy as well. A lot of it's a really, really steep climb, almost vertical in some cases. It was terrifying, and it was just don't die.
Yeah.
Don't die.
Just focus on not dying.
Those fucking trail shoes on wet rock.
Shit.
Absolutely not the one.
No.
Absolutely not the one at all.
I don't think there's many shoes that work well on wet rock, to be honest.
I think so, because they've
one.
got quite a bit of tread in them, don't they? Those spikes for gripping onto soft grass and muddy kind of surfaces.
Yeah.
But a lot of other running shoes have got more surface area.
Yeah.
So I think that the lads that had just basic bitch soles, just normal rubber soles, they were probably losing traction completely on the wet ground, but on the wet rock they'll have had a lot more friction to be able to keep a grip and not shit themselves.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because I almost stacked it quite a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm terrified of heights, and that was really, really quite daunting.
Very stressful.
It was so stressful. I bet they hated me. And then the last big climb that we did was the worst one, and they said this is going to be the worst one on the route, and it does genuinely get easier after this.
Yeah.
But I was about a third of the way up, not even a third, maybe a quarter of the way up it, and I was just you're all going way too fast for me. I want to do this on my own and not worry about this cunt behind me. Because there was another weird thing, like they're all into like CrossFit and fighting and stuff.
Yeah.
So there was a weird rule, and I know that they've done this previously where they've carried a kettlebell or a dumbbell up, and it has to be passed down the line. And if you put it down, or if you fall over with it, or if it touches the ground at all, you have to do 10 or 20 burpees or something.
Oh, no.
By the way, that sound is my cat going for a shit, so just in case anybody's wondering.
No one knocking at the door. It's
So
just
there was
cat
like
poop.
a little monster doll called Tabitha. So there was a lot of rules that came with Tabitha. It has to get passed down. Tabitha has to get passed down the line. One of the rules is you're not allowed to call her anything other than Tabitha. If you call it it or that or she, you have to do 10 burpees.
Oh, no.
She has to be passed in an order, and if you pass her to the wrong person, you have to do 10 burpees. You're not allowed to talk while you've got her. You've only got her for 10 minutes, and you're not allowed to, you have to stay at the back. You're not allowed to overtake anybody
What is
with
this
her.
fraternity type bullshit?
Well, that's just it.
I hate
It was
everything about
genuinely,
that.
like, I thought this is fucked, and I'm going to get really annoyed at this. But by the time it came for me to hold her, it was really peaceful because I was
morale
so
boosting?
sick of having people up my arse and people in front of me.
Yeah.
I just stayed at the back and it was peaceful. Like, I couldn't hear anybody's voices and I couldn't really see anybody either. I was just me and Tabitha were just trekking down this little hill coming off Robinson.
You should have just kept her.
She was mint. I couldn't. Otherwise, I'd have had to do burpees the whole way around,
Stupid fucking
and I
rules,
couldn't
man.
even climb up the fucking fourth hill.
I was just struggling walking, let alone burpees.
It was minging, mate. It was so minging. But I'll do it again, and I will finish it next time. But I'll be way better prepared.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So what was the final fuck it point?
At the top of high style, a choice was made. There was clearly a fast group.
Yeah.
And they were itching to get on because they wanted to finish the round within 12 hours. That was their goal. And we were holding them back. So they were like, we're going to run on.
Right.
You get down the bottom off Red Pike. Once you get to the bottom, make a decision what you're going to do. But we can't keep waiting for you. So they all fucked off, and that was absolutely fine. Because, they do stuff like that all the time. There's a lot of actual, I think there's some Marines in the group, so they're psychopaths, they can just go forever.
Not bothered.
They don't fucking care at all. Oh God, these guys, they were we were going up this huge incline. It was on the second hill. We'd come off Catbells. We'd gone crossed over the valley, and we were going up. I can't remember what the second one was called, but it was like this. It was so fucking steep, and I was dying. That guy who was whiteying was honking his guts up behind me, and
God.
I was dead. And the sun was coming up, and that was a pleasant distraction because the
sun coming up always makes you feel better.
It was like red, and it was beautiful. But there was this lad with a cap on it, and he's just running down the hill. Is everybody all right? And then he's running back up the hill, and then I'm like, my lungs are falling out of my bumhole.
He's like a Labrador doing extra laps.
He was a Springer Spaniel.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Or a lurcher.
I feel like that just wound me up. That.
I just thought,
I don't want to punch him.
How does anybody do this?
Yeah.
You've just willingly done this hill twice.
No. I couldn't think of anything fucking worse.
And he was faster than all of us. I really what the fuck
Who are you?
Oh. Oh, God. So, we split up into groups, and we got off Red Pike, and we got to the bottom of it, and they were like, right, we're not going to make this round, so let's just march back to Keswick and follow the mountain pass. So we were just following the roads after that. There was, we still ran a lot of the way.
Yeah.
And did the whole, walking uphill, run the flats and run the downs.
Yeah.
And we kind of did it in, in doubles. So there were about 10 of us. So we were in, 5 doubles at the side of the road. And it kind of moving like a military unit. It was quite cool.
Yeah.
And that kind of made it pass a lot quicker.
Yeah, being part of a group.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does sound. I don't know.
It was all right, mate. And
Sounds fucking
I'm not
awful.
I'm not a group person at all, but it was genuinely like quite pleasant being around them.
Yeah, and I
When
think
I was
as well,
dying.
something a bit different as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes is it's nice to share it with people, isn't it? Like when you're all
absolutely.
going through the same shit, you're
Absolutely.
all a bit like, yeah.
And then when we all got back to a pub, and we're
can all
all
just
like
whinge about how
blobbing
shit it
out,
was.
knacking fucking pints of ale and bags of crisps and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one to remember for sure.
Well, first attempt at an ultra, it's always going to be the biggest learning curve, I think, isn't it? What was your total distance?
39 kilometres.
That's fucking hardcore,
Yeah.
that, like.
And
That's
there was
hardcore.
like about 2,200 metres of elevation as well. So
Dirty. I think that's what a lot of people, like, forget. We've been talking about this today, haven't we? That, like, flat running is just so different to elevation, innit? Like, the elevation just smacks the arse out of you, doesn't it?
absolutely.
You think you're doing all right and you think you're a pretty good runner, and then you start running up hills and you're like, no. I'm not good
It's
at
a
running.
totally different game.
It's awful.
Dirty. And like, I should have known. Like, I live in Redcar, for God's sake. It's flat as a fucking pancake.
There's not much going on.
There's fuck all going on here. Like, there is nothing to practice hill running around here. Well, there is if I head over that way, but
yeah, it's not like straight out the front door, though,
No.
is it? It's the same with me. Like, I've got a couple of miles before I get to any decent hills, but then it's just hills.
yeah,
There's nothing else. You've got no choice.
it's good though around yours because
There is
there's
some-
much less people and much less people from Redcar as
There
well.
is much just less everything. I've been out, like, I go out in the middle of the day sometimes, and if I see a person or a car, I'd be surprised. It's just
I
dead.
love that.
Either if I go out like early doors, like 7ish, 8ish, or like 5, 6 o'clock, I'll see some cars and you see the odd runner. If you go out like a Sunday morning, like 10, then there's loads of people knocking about. Loads. Like, if I do a couple of miles, I'll see maybe 2. I'm like, wow, that's so many people. What are you all doing
Like
out?
that one that we did together, and we actually just saw.
Oh my god,
2
yeah.
people.
I can't tell you how many times I've run that route and never seen a person. Like, that's like a dead lane, that, because it doesn't go anywhere. It's like a dead end. It goes to a farm and that's it.
I went to a farm, and the farm lass was like, "What you doing?
I know. What are you doing down here? Like, just running, pal.
What are you doing down here?"
Yeah. Who are you? I've never seen you down here. To be fair, though, she's alright. I've had some right runnings before.
Yeah, you mentioned. I bet there's some sketchy folk around there.
There's a crazy girl who lives, like, in the village up
Not
from
a
us.
crazy girl.
She's crazier than me.
Oh no.
Because she approached me. But I was walking along and I cut through all the backfields round ours, and this like young girl, like this farm girl, she's known as a bit of a dick, to be honest, in the area. Like,
I hope
everyone.
she's a listener of this podcast.
I hope she is too. You're a fucking knobhead. Nah, she's a bit of a dick. She's one of them, like, when you're running on the road, she'll drive past you really fast in a pickup, and I hate that, mate. If you drive past me fast when I'm running, I just think you're a dick straight away. There's no reason you have to drive that fast. Like, the road's for everybody, mate. Cyclists, on the other hand, that's another issue, but runners, nah, because everyone knows that runner's having a shit time.
What is it with cyclists riding like 2 abreast? I fucking hate that.
Because they think it's like safety in numbers, in it, but it's just annoying.
Not. You're making it more dangerous
makes it
because you could
harder
just
for
hook
me.
to the side of the road. You want to have a conversation with your pal.
To be fair, though, actually, I'll give it to the cyclists who are around me. They are actually quite friendly. Like, when I'm out running, they'll always say hello. Whereas I find sometimes cyclists can be a bit ignorant, but the ones around us are pretty good. But anyway, yeah, this farm girl, she was kicking off, like, she'd seen me walking across the field, and I cut through the edge of their field to, like, get to my next field, because there's, like, not really a bridle way there.
Yeah.
But there is a bridle way on the other side of the field, but I can't get to it unless I, like, walk another 2 miles out of my way to go around that field, and I'm not going to do that. So I just cut round the side. I'm not silly. I don't walk on crops or anything like that before early farmers go kicking off. But I had that big dog Casey with me, and Lumen, I think. I was walking along and she came over, bolshy as anything, screaming, asking me why I was walking on the land and all that. I was like, mate, I'm just trying to get to the Bradway. Like, literally, you can see my house. I live there.
Yeah.
Like, I do this nearly every other day. Like, it's just unfortunate that you're here this day and have seen me doing it. But I do this every day, and you've clearly never noticed before. So she had a bit of a kick off and all this, and I was like, bah, whatever, like, and then threatened to shoot the dogs and all this, and said that her,
That's a little bit of a step too far.
said that her daddy had a shotgun, and I was like, oh wow, a shotgun. Oh.
I'm pretty sure everybody around yours has got a fucking
firearms
shotgun.
license, mate. Fuck off. Take your shotgun, shove it up your ass.
Release the birds.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm not going to argue with you. I don't care. Like, go away. So anyway, I walked away, like, carried on with my walk as I would have usually done. But then as I got to, like, where I would usually, like, loop round, so I wouldn't have to go back that way and go along the roadside, there was 3 deer in the field.
No.
And I had
Danger
Casey.
dog.
But it was on a lead. But I thought, do I now walk that way and have that dog pull my shoulder out of the socket for the next mile and a half? Or do I just cut back?
Yeah.
And hope for the best? So I cut back.
Was she there again?
Yeah, she was still there. And she was doing something like they were building a fucking fence or some shit, and I could hear her screaming at me from the other side of the field. Just lolling, just walked past, carried on.
Like, could you be arsed being such a radgy?
Man, she was proper aggy. I was like, why are you so angry?
Smoke a bit of weed and settle down.
Chill out, bruh. There's no drama.
No.
Anyway, that was a fucking tangent,
I
wasn't it?
have no idea why that happened, but...
I don't know either.
How's life?
We're talking about... Oh, yeah.
What's your bicep doing these days?
Biceps okay. It's been really painful the last, like, week or so, but I think it's because it's, like, starting to work again as an actual bicep should. So although it's been uncomfortable and a bit shit, I'm sort of like, well, it's got to go through this phase, hasn't it, to get, like, back on track. More than anything, I'm just fucking depressed, lol.
Oh, good. Lol.
Just a little bit of depression.
Oh, shit.
Nah, I'm not like super depressed. Like, it's definitely a manageable level at the moment. But you know when sometimes you just wake up and you're like, don't want to do anything today.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do like 2,000 steps and I'll be like, well, that's my day. Can't do
Well,
anything.
to be fair, I haven't broken my bicep and I have days like that all the time.
Yeah, I think to be fair, I probably had these days before I had my bicep off. I just noticed them more now because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, you're really not doing anything to help yourself today. And I'm like, well, sometimes you just don't need to do things to help yourself.
Yeah, well, that's just it. I think there might have been days like this before, but you're probably, like, distracted by, like, 2 to 3 hour training sessions.
And if you can go and do
pull
what
your head
you,
out your
yeah,
arse,
if
doesn't
you can go and do what you want to do, and you're not like
working around things.
Yeah,
that's
pain
so
fucks you off a
annoying.
little bit as well, doesn't it? Like if
Yeah.
you're in pain, everything just feels a bit harder and a bit shitter, and
And you're scared
yeah,
as well.
yeah, like that's been a big part of it. Like fucking hell, I was squatting the other day and I'd posted it on my Instagram, like worked up to 100 kilos on the SSB bar.
Strong bitch.
And I was like literally having like panic attacks, thinking like I'm gonna deck this, I'm gonna deck it, I'm not gonna be able to stand back up. And I'm like literally a month ago I was throwing this above my head. Like why am I being such a little bitch about this now? Like pack it in. But then to be fair, I was training the other day and Rachel Greener had come round and she was sat watching me train. And, like, I think because she was there, I just felt a bit safer. So, like, I did an 85 kilo front squat for reps, and I was like, well, that felt fucking easy. Why am I struggling with 100 kilo on SSB bar?
That's so weird.
Yeah, so it's mental. It's 100%, like, in my head. I've just got to sort of, like, pull my head out my ass a bit, I think, and just be like, fuck it, you'll be alright, mate. But it's hard sometimes, isn't it? Like, if you have a day where you're like, can't be asked to do anything, and what really annoys me is when you get, like, them fitfluencers who are like, well, if you just look after your physical health, your mental health will improve. Well, my physical health's pretty well looked after, but my mental health's still shit. It's not making any fucking difference.
No.
Like, yesterday, I'd been commentating all day, but I'd had a horrific night's sleep the night before. Just, like, pain waking up and stuff, not being able to sleep properly. So I'd, like, expended all my fun time energy commentating. And then I got home and I'd only done like 2,000 steps and I was like, I need to go and do some steps really because I'm like being a lazy bastard. And I felt awful. So I put on fucking War of the Worlds and was like just trekking up and down the drive to try and get these steps in. I didn't feel better after doing that.
No.
I felt worse. Because then I was like tired and physically tired. My head was tired and my body was tired. And I was like, at least before that, only my head was tired.
Yeah.
And I didn't have sore feet. So,
Nice socks.
I've got toe socks. It's
You do.
because I've got toes that
In
overlap.
gingy.
Yeah,
They're
good.
beasts, aren't they?
They're really good, but I like them when you're running because my toes rub together and it's really sore. I get it.
Mine do. This one turns under, that one turns under.
Your fourth toe?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine does. That's why I've started wearing these when I'm running.
Do you think
toe
that
sock
we'd be
game.
able to run better if we didn't have fourth toes?
What, take the fourth toe off completely?
Just have the pinky toe and then like the middle toe.
I don't know though, because I think if you create a gap, then everything will like collapse inwards.
Maybe it would collapse outwards.
That would be surely worse.
Let's experiment.
We're already wearing like wide toe box shoes because we've got such big flat feet.
Yeah.
We don't need wider feet.
I don't know, maybe.
That would be horrific. This podcast's really tangenty today, innit?
Doing everything today. Right, how's commentating going?
Oh, commentating is great.
I think you were born for that.
Love commentating. It's definitely like felt like I've found a calling and I love it. And I love the fact that like Rhiannon and Luke have given me that opportunity as well. Like they're just, for all the people in Strongman, Rhi and Luke are doing the most.
Yeah.
I'll 100%
Word.
stand by it. They
Absolutely
are
word.
absolutely doing the utmost to get this sport fucking pushed forward. And like I'll stand by them. And as well, like they paid me for that commentating gig. And they paid me the day after I did it. Like last night, I got paid last night.
That is unheard of in this sport, to get paid the day after you did a job.
The first money I've ever made in the sport, and honestly, it's been the best experience.
Jesus.
Fuck this competing shit.
That's mint. Shout out to Luke and Rhiannon.
Shout out to Luke and Rhi, they have
Setting
been...
the fucking standard.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, really good. So I've loved every minute of it. It's been class. I'm hoping to get a few more. Like, obviously, they're doing quite a lot this year, and I think we were discussing it yesterday, and they're going to start... I said they should start charging for the live streams, because they're so good, and, like, there's such...
Like £1.
Well, this is what
that would do.
This is what we were saying. Like, a couple of quid to a £5, no one's going to bat their eyelid at that.
If you want to watch it, you want to watch it.
Well, that's the thing. And like, if you want to watch the live stream for official Strongman, that's $7.99 a month.
I resent paying that. You know, I really hate it.
I do. I mean, I like the live
for
stream.
it and then I cancel it immediately so I don't forget the next month.
I actually think I'm really organised, like a bit adult about it, and I pay it a year in advance. But then every time when it comes out through direct debit,
I can't justify paying
in the year. It makes me so angry. It's only because I want to always have access to the qualifiers and stuff, and I hate losing money every month. But yeah, like I said, I think Rhi and Luke are going to start charging for them, and I think it's a really good idea because there's money to be made there. And if there's one thing we know about Chaos, they're always putting that money back into the sport.
Yeah.
They're not making like money and
Rhiannon's not driving around in a fucking Lamborghini, mate.
Exactly.
She might have bought a horse, but this is like...
She needs something,
She's been balls deep in the sport for decades.
Yeah, she needs to treat herself sometimes, doesn't she? Yeah, no, I agree. So, like, they like 100% believe that whatever they're telling me is true, and they're just pushing that money back in the sport.
Yeah.
So I think, like they've said, if they start charging for the live stream, like she was saying, they want to be paying these athletes, like they want to have money for the natties, money for like Chaos Classic, money for the pathways. Like she said something really cool on Sunday to me that was like, I've like done everything that I needed to do. I've pushed through this sport and I've like done what I needed to do, proved what I can do. But now, like, I can make this sport better for girls coming through for it. And I think that's just fucking solid, that, innit? Like, what a mindset to have. And, like, just sort of going, yeah, I can fucking sort this for everybody. And going out and doing it. Because, like, I mean, I talk about, I want to fucking do this for the sport, do that for the sport.
But there is a lot of talk and not a lot of action.
Yeah, from a lot of people. And I'm guilty of that. Yeah, 100%. Because, like, not a lot of us have as much drive as they do. So, yeah, fucking hats off to them. They're smashing it. Really enjoying working with them. And
proper cool cats as well.
Proper cool cats. Just
and
generally
just fucking
nice people.
Weird cool.
Yeah, agree.
We like weird cool.
We're all for weird cool.
Everyone be weird.
Speaking of weird cool, got a sponsorship. Boom.
You did. By another weird cool guy.
From another weird cool guy, yeah. Odd objects. Use my code, birds aren't real.
That's the best bit.
It is the best bit. I love fucking saying it. It's fucking hilarious.
What do they sell? What's their merch?
Well, they do, like, obviously, like, a lot of strongman kits. So they've got the show shorts, which I Our lad bought them for me for Christmas or my birthday or something, and I'm not a neoprene short fan, me. Like, I don't like that swamp crotch.
It's uncomfortable.
I'm a sweaty person at the best of times.
But I do like when you walk, it makes a noise. You get sound effects.
No, I don't like that. It feels like
Let me let this cat in.
Oh, come on, cat. Come on in. Join the fun.
Don't bring that little mouse with you.
I don't know. Do some extra protein.
Come on, sausage. It's just Becca.
He's like, nah, mate. Who's
Well,
this
I'm not
weirdo?
standing here all day, you know.
But yeah, so they've got the neoprene shorts that Ben got me, and I was a bit like, don't like neoprene shorts. Put them on. Oh my god, they're unreal. They're like only the thickness of maybe like a wetsuit, but they've got like an aerated crotch area, which is a game changer, because then you've not got that horrible like sweaty crotch. And Derek Owen shit in them, and it didn't come out. So yeah, the Chaos Classic last year.
He had a poo.
Yeah, had a poo. He was doing, I think it was like, was it 150 kilo Husafell for max distance or something?
That's committed.
And he like fell over at the end and then like ran away and was like, I've shit myself. It was very funny.
So was it a solid poo that just squelched around and sat in the pocket?
I didn't ask him.
I think we need to know,
I'll
Derek.
have to find out. Someone message Derek Owens and ask him the consistency of his poo at the
was
Chaos
it liquid
Classic.
nervy bee poo, or was it
No, I think by that point, I mean, we were fairly well through the comp. It'll have been like whatever was left in his intestines,
Right.
wouldn't it? Being pushed out through max distance.
grim?
I mean, we've all been there.
I didn't think max distance could get any worse, but now you've just opened new realms of fear.
No, I've done it. I've not shit myself doing it, but I've done it before where I've been doing a max distance, like, front hold sandbag run, and I've just started pissing, and then you can't stop once
The
you go.
urine is a thing, yeah. Once the
Once
flow
it kicks
tap is
in,
open.
you can't turn it off, can you? It just
No.
keeps going. But, yeah, no, they are very good shorts, though, I'll give them that. And he didn't shit through them, so...
That's amazing.
And then they do, like, the usual t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, socks.
So just paraphernalia.
Strongman paraphernalia, but it's very cool. Very
And it
cool.
holds your poo in. I do like the designs. They are fun.
I do, and they use a lot of, like, they go to, like, artists and get them to design, like, t-shirts.
That's how things should be.
Yeah, 100%, and I love that. Like, it's just
Like Charlie's fucking gear. What's it called? The tacky top. What's that brand?
Oh, yeah, Go for Yoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, another really cool brand.
Really nicely designed and good quality.
Yeah, that's the
Very
thing.
good. It's not just Gillan.
Yeah, or fucking Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of Loom.
No. If I turn up to a comp now and they've got fucking them cardboardy t-shirts, I'm like, get fucked. If I'm paying fucking 30, 40 quid to do a comp.
Organic
Yes.
rainforest cotton.
Yeah.
Hand sewn
I want
by
them
my
nice,
grandma.
nice quality t-shirts.
Soft. And like heavy feeling as well.
Just
I like it when it feels thick enough to withstand a war.
Yeah, like it feels like it's going to last. Like a couple of them t-shirts I've had before from comps, like fucking hell, you wear them twice and holes in the armpits
Well,
and
that's
you're like,
the problem
burn.
in it. Or you'll wear them for the Atlas Stone run and then it just rips in half. And then you're left with like a little flappy
I've started throwing
belly
them
top.
out, mate. Fucking sick of them. Shit.
I did collect them all. I have no idea where I've put them, but yeah, just for, like novelty.
Just find them again.
Maybe
at some
one
point.
day when I'm old and disabled, I'll look at them and I'll think I used to be somebody.
Do you know what I really like, but I can't ever wear again? The Ultimate Strongman singlets. Have you never worn one
There
of
would
them?
not be any point of you ever wearing that again unless you get invited back to Ultimate Strongman, which you're not because you're upset.
Because I've been blacklisted.
Because you're too honest. Let's be fair.
Some people just don't like me, and that's fine. If you don't like me, I'm not everybody's cup of tea,
But
and
loads
that's
of people
okay.
do like Marmite, so that's also cool.
Exactly. I don't mind. It's each to their own. But anyway, I do like them singlets. I'll give them that, and I've got 2 now. So, and if it was acceptable to wear them for training, I totally would, because they're so comfy. Really.
Are they?
Yeah. Shockingly, like you can have one of mine if you want and try
Why don't
it.
you do like an ultramarathon in one? I think that might be nice to run in.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be bad. The only problem would be if you needed a wee, it'd be a bit of a chew on to get it off.
What about if it was a triathlon, then you're running, cycling and swimming and pissing in it?
Well, I guess that would work perfectly.
It would, wouldn't it? Looks quite fast drying and
Maybe
breathable.
if I do a triathlon, I'll try it.
Yeah, and then it's got your name on it.
I nearly pooped in one of them.
Don't do that, because it's not
I think
going to
it'd
catch
be...
it.
No, I wouldn't. It'd be really obvious. It's when I did that first ever England's and I had violent food poisoning about 4 days beforehand. And,
was that through your own cooking again?
No, that was from fucking Enskill Farm Shop.
Oh,
Burn.
yeah.
They nearly killed me from fucking off coleslaw. And yeah, I was really violently ill. And then
From coleslaw?
Yeah, that's where... Well, the only thing I'd eaten all day was a ham and coleslaw sandwich from there. And then about 5 hours later, like, it was really weird. I was like, I've got, like, proper tight chest. I don't feel well. But we had a wedding the day before England's, which I was, like, really excited to go to, but hadn't sorted out an outfit. And Ben was like, you just fucking worked up because you haven't sorted out an outfit. We'll go to TK Maxx, like, we'll drive to Teesside Park, find something for you there, and you'll be sound, we'll come back. So anyway, I drove there, and I was like, I fucking probably don't feel well, mate. He's like, you're just panicking, like, you're nervous, it's fine. I was like,
I'm not sure, Ben.
I don't think this is nerves. And anyway, we were driving back, and, like, I just felt rough, you know, when you're like, something's wrong.
Yeah,
really
you get
badly
a wave
wrong.
of cold,
Yeah.
hot nerve.
And I kept telling him to pull over, and he's like, not pulling over, you're fine. And I was like, no, I need to pull over. We pulled over, and there was a man, like, in the lay-by, and I was like, can't stop here, because I don't know what's going to happen. We need to be somewhere safe and quiet.
In case it's both ends.
Yeah, in case it's both ends, because it's going to go regardless. And then we managed to find this, like, little quiet side road, and anyway, I got out of the car, and I was on all fours, me, like, heaving like a fucking dog, bombing all over the floor. I've never had it as bad. It was the worst food poison I've ever had in my life. And I just couldn't do anything about it. It was fucking brutal. And it lasted a good, like, I'm going to say 48 hours. Non-stop. And that was, like, the Thursday. The wedding was the Saturday. England's was the Sunday. It was bad times for me. Friday was a write-off. Felt horrific. Saturday was, like, I was okay. We'd gone to the wedding. I'd had a bit of food. They had, like, chicken and mashed potatoes in the meal, and it was banging, to be fair. I'd eaten a little bit of that, and I was like, I might be okay here. I might be okay. But then I got to England's, and I think because I was, like, a little bit nervous of the competition and all that sort of stuff anyway, the pooping started, and, like, I was slamming Imodiums like nothing else. My favourite thing to do.
I just don't understand how can somebody do coleslaw so wrong?
It's the mayo, apparently. Because I was like, it's got to have been the ham. But then someone said to me, nah, you'd taste it if the ham was off. Like, mayo is apparently a big thing that catches people out with food poisoning. Because if you don't store mayo correctly, it can go off really fast. So there you go. Don't trust mayonnaise that you don't look after yourself.
Always make your own coleslaw. And pro tip, you don't have to use mayonnaise. You can use extra virgin olive oil, a bit of vinegar. I like to put yoghurt in mine, Greek yoghurt.
That sounds like a healthy version of coleslaw.
It's so nice. It's really, really good.
I'm not sure I'm sold on this, but I will say
Bit of smoked paprika. Oh yeah, paprika.
I've been traumatised off coleslaw for ages. It took ages to get back on track.
Yeah, I would just stick with sauerkraut.
Still now, even if I taste something and it tastes a bit fizzy, I'm like, nah.
Don't you think, though, like, there's a thing with coleslaw where it kind of rifts on you for the rest of the day? Even if it didn't give you food poisoning, you're, like, burping coleslaw flavour all day.
Depends on how much you eat, and I think if they put onions in it as well, I don't like corn-soft onions in it.
Don't you?
Nah.
Oh.
We only like the cabbage and the carrot.
You boring bastard.
I'm not a big fan of onions.
Why?
I just don't like them. I think they make you fart loads as well.
Yeah, they are. What's that thing? Nightshade. Nightshady. So if you've got
Sounds
IBS,
dangerous.
if you've got IBS, you're not really supposed to eat them because they ferment in your gut.
Oh.
And that's what gives people huge bloated bellies and gassy.
Maybe that's why then. Maybe that's why I don't like them. Maybe I am actually not good with onions. Whatever. Well, I don't care. No one will ever stop me from eating onion rings, though, even though I don't like actual onions.
You're fucked in the head.
Fucking love onion rings. They are the tastiest
They are the
things.
bomb. They're so good. The crunch.
The crunch! Right, should we do a bit... Well, we've spoken for nearly, like, half an hour. Are we going to talk about a bit of Strongman?
Nothing really in particular. Yeah, let's go Strongman.
What should we talk about?
how awesome Luke and Rhea are.
We've definitely done that.
What else were we talking about before when we said let's press record because this
We
is
were
good?
talking about how we talked about how bitchy Strongman can be.
The sport is gathering a little bit of, like sand in its vagina, and I think it needs addressing. Do you think it's because there's not actually a federation?
Well, I think this is a massive...
There's no governing body for this sport because it's such a new and not really... It's difficult to establish.
Yeah, well, because now there's so many, like, pathways and organisations, how would you ever streamline it into one? Like, it's going to end up like powerlifting, isn't it? Where there's, like, a few big federations, but then there's, like, 1,000 shit ones too. So
and they all
think...
say that ours is better than everybody else's. So you never really know which one is worthy.
I do think that's a bit of a problem. I like that, like, obviously, like, official strongman, they're sort of, like, streamlining into a pathway, aren't they? And they've got, like... They're pretty big boots on the ground, aren't they?
Yeah, they're
like...
making it look slick and professional, which is what we want.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think there should be a rule book. I think there should be a fucking rule book. Like, you go to IPF and you get the standards of practice.
Yeah.
And you know exactly where you stand.
Yeah, I agree. I think the problem
and then
is
you've
with
got the
strongman,
Bible
though,
to go to.
there's so many different events in there. How would you ever... Like, I seen at the weekend in the 105s, there was a guy called Matt Cole, and he was doing throwing bags, right? And before he went into his throwing bags, he drew a chalk line on the floor.
Yeah, see, this is what I would encourage my clients
I've never
to do.
seen anybody do that. And I was like, what a fucking cheat code.
I remember watching you on that. Like, yeah, and I heard you say that, and I thought... To be fair, a lot of people won't have ever thought of doing that, but that's always been a thing that I've told people to do. Because how else do you know? How do you know how to reference your position versus that vertical bar?
100%, I agree, but I've never seen it. But that, in relevance to a rule book, imagine all the fucking rules that you'd have to work out.
Yeah.
It'd be a fucking nightmare.
But the only way to get to the end product is to start somewhere. And, there is the core 5. So we've got, like... the log, we've got the deadlift, we've got the farmers, we've got the fucking Atlas stones, and whatever else, like yoke, axle, floor to overhead, giant dumbbell. You could cover those core movements and then just start there.
Do you not agree, though, that you quite like the fact that Strongman doesn't really have any set rules, and if it's not specified in a comp meeting, then you can make it up as you go along?
I love that because that's helped me out many a time.
I love to exploit a rule.
Many a gold have been achieved through bending rules.
Well, I think that's like one of the beauties of Strongman, isn't it?
It's tactics,
finding something out and thinking, no one will have thought that. No. I'm not going to ask about it in the rules. No. I'll wait until the competition starts and then just do it anyway.
That's it.
And then at that point, they can decide if it's wrong or right, but I don't care because I've already done it.
Damn straight. So I'm totally in favour of don't ask for permission.
Absolutely
ask for
not.
Forgiveness.
Yeah, I agree. Unless you're breaking an obvious rule, like you're actively breaking a rule. If you're just bending something, then if no one specified it, then it's not true.
No, exactly.
It's not a rule. But see, having a rule book could potentially mean that wouldn't happen anymore.
Yeah. Maybe standards of practice, like in behaviour, there should be certain things.
Now I think that...
Because some people are a little bit... inappropriate and...
One of my biggest pet hates, if you're at a competition and you throw your kit, I'll put you straight in the bin. I don't care where you're throwing it, who you're throwing it at, why you're throwing it. You should not be throwing
Unless
kit.
you don a mirror and it's a bottle of salts. Because this is her thing, you can't take that away from her. She's got to do a little skippy dance, and then she's got to throw her little tub of salts, and then she does a little skippy dance onto the platform, does the thing,
I'll give it,
skips off, and then somebody finds the salts and gives them back to her.
A small tub of salts I can get away with.
If you're 3 times world's strongest woman.
Yeah, you have to be 3 times world's strongest woman to be allowed to do that, though, I feel like.
But yeah, throwing belts and all that jazz, like, that's dangerous.
Yeah, throwing belts infuriates me. It really winds me up.
But it's also really disrespecting to your own kit. Yeah. And imagine, like, you throw your SBD belt, sorry guys, they're like 300 fucking quid. Yeah. And you just snap the buckle on it because you had a little paddy, get a grip of yourself.
100%, I fucking hate me. It proper winds me up. And the minute I see people do it, I'm just like, bin.
Yeah.
Not fan.
Yeah, no, me either.
No, wouldn't
contain yourself.
Yeah, maybe. But I feel like the majority of people are pretty well behaved at strongman comps. I think it's hard, isn't it? Because, like, there's a part of it where strongman's, like, a little bit bitchy and a little bit of a fucking carry on, and everyone likes to post all over Instagram all the fucking drama and all the kickoffs and stuff. But also, that's only really going to get progressively worse the bigger the sport gets, isn't it?
The
So
more
can't
people
really
that are
fucking whinge about
involved,
it.
absolutely. And the more money that's involved in it as well.
Yeah, because
I think wherever there are people, there's always going to be cunts, so...
100%. Because we were discussing... We'll decide if we keep this in the podcast or not. We probably will, because we don't care that much.
Unless somebody doesn't want to hear the word cunt.
Fuck them. No, not about the word cunt. About the next thing that I'm going to bring up.
Go for it.
So, someone kicking off about a competition, one of the qualifiers for Natty Worlds in Switzerland. Yeah. We might as well just do it as strongman drama, because I'm not, like, heavily involved with any of these people, are you?
I know the people. Not heavily involved, though. Go for it.
Be fine. Anyway, if you don't know about it, someone basically had a bit of a kick-off because they didn't like the way that the comp was ran. They posted it publicly on Instagram. The promoters and a few other people got hold of it, and that person has been banned, I think, for life.
Yeah.
From competing. Hard one. I see both sides. But I also, like... I'm afraid I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt, and this person in particular, I'm aware of how new this person is to the sport, and they're just trying to find their position in a sport, and they didn't know that was a thing. If you ask for a refund on your entry fee, some competitions are really fucking it. Like, if I was going to ask OSG for a refund in America, absolutely not a chance.
I would not expect it, but that's because I've been in the sport for over a decade.
100%. So well, I've done exactly the same thing.
Somebody who only just got started in the sport a year ago isn't going to know these things.
Yeah, no, you're not going to know
that.
And
kicking up a stink about it and like banning them from future competitions it's really unfair on that individual. But you've got to give newbies a benefit of the doubt. Like, don't scare away brand new people that are gonna. Like, not saying that she could be, but that could be the next big thing, She could have been the next big Chloe Brennan or Becca Wagon. Well, she could, in the future, snap her bicep doing a really heavy axle clean.
Well, while I do agree with you, I do also think that there's a part of it where if you have strongman promoters that are going above and beyond for competitions, they do need to be protected like they are gold. Because they are. Because, I mean, fucking hell, how many comps have you done where it's shite? Like, absolute dog shit shite. And you hate everything out of it.
Yeah, just want to die.
And it's just, like, it's just to the point where it's dangerous and it's ridiculous. And you're in such an awkward position all day because of aggressive people and just shit that when you get good strongman promoters, like... Yeah, fair enough, the refund thing. I get that she didn't know that because she was, like, new to the sport and stuff, but... There was a bit about, like, not being able to take photographs, but on the other flip side, the organiser had organised professional photos and videos to be taken of all athletes all day, which I don't know how I feel about that either, because I think competitions
look at OSG. There's hardly any fucking photos of me.
No.
God help us all if I wasn't allowed to take any fucking pictures of the competition, because the photographer seemed to hate me.
Well, this is the thing, and I do think even... If you've got a professional photographer, letting people do their own videos and pictures is good because it only promotes the competition.
Yeah.
Like, it's only going to promote it.
It's not Buckingham Palace. Can we just please let this be an easier thing for people to achieve? And I see all those points. I hear everybody. But if we then become the kind of people to just... put the shutters down on a person because they made one mistake, that's way too much power. That's a bit disturbing. Because then where does it end?
The problem is I think that it's all been posted,
has absolute control over everything.
Yeah, I do also agree that there needs to be a little bit of a, like, just a bit more maybe sense around what you're posting online. Like if you're going after somebody and you're going to kick off about a competition, have you contacted that organiser first and brought
Yeah.
up genuine reasons? Like if say they'd messaged and said, look, why am I not getting a refund? Sort of say like, that's not how Strongman works.
Yeah.
Like I fucked up this week and I paid for the European Arnold, which was 170 fucking quid.
Yeah.
And 2 days later realised that I'd already booked a joint family birthday party on the exact same weekend that I'd already paid like 500 quid for the hotel and the meal for as well. And I was like, fuck.
Oh, damn.
And so I emailed them straight away and said, look, I've made a massive error. Like, I'm hoping that I've realised early enough because Benidorm sorted it all out and that. And I was like, is there anywhere, I'm not asking for a refund, can I sell my place to somebody else?
Yeah.
Because, like, 170 quid's a fucking lot of money.
That is a lot.
And they were sound. They were like, yeah, you can sell your place. Sell your place to somebody else.
What was that for?
European Arnold.
Right.
So, and they were fine about it. But on the flip side of that, I 100% had already said bye to that 170 quid.
Yeah.
I was 100% expecting them to come back to me and be like, no, sorry, like, the deposit's non-refundable, like, there's nothing you can do about that. And that was my mistake. And, like...
Do you think there's such a thing as competition entry fee cooling off periods? You know, when you get, like... You know, when you buy something...
Oh, yeah, you get, like, 14 days.
Yeah, you've got, like, rights as a consumer to be able to change your mind within a certain time period.
Well, I would say not if you're paying them through PayPal Friends and Family. Then no. If you put money through PayPal Friends and Family, then you 100% expect it to be gone forever.
Oh dear. Is that how we buy competition entry fees nowadays?
Pretty much, mate. Pretty much.
Oh, I'm out of touch, aren't I?
I mean, the big organisations like Chaos and Official Strongman...
You do it on their websites
yeah, you
and
go through the website.
a checkout
but
process.
the majority... I mean, saying that, England's Strongest Woman, that's PayPal Friends and Family. There you go.
Yeah, but that is a new promoter.
Who's working under Official Strongman?
So it probably should go through Official Strongman.
You would have thought.
And maybe they don't want the taxman to know about England's Strongest Woman.
No one wants the taxman to know anything.
They don't want to go on the VAT threshold. They're probably way over that.
To be fair, that VAT threshold's a burn, like, big burn. If you're ever doing your own company,
Colin and Darren.
Don't get VAT registered. Worst decision.
Just stick to PayPal Friends and Family.
Business advice.
Or cash only. You have to post it.
Fuck the government.
Remember when you used to have to actually post stuff? You know, fill out a form, cut it out of a magazine, fill out a form and then post the money or a cheque.
Someone sent me a cheque in the post the other day.
Do people still have cheques?
Yep. Old people.
Are your banks, like, open? Is there any banks around you where you can go and do that?
You can pay cheques in up to a certain amount on mobile banking. There you go.
How? You take a photo of it?
You take a picture of it. And
That's
what always
ridiculous.
confuses me is that you take a picture of the front and then you've got to take a picture of the back, but there's
What's
nothing
on the back?
Nothing.
Maybe just to check. Why don't you write "fuck you" on the back of it?
Because I want that money to go in.
Oh, why don't you put plus £1,000?
Just change the amount on it. I think that's called fraud.
Oh, never mind.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Dunno.
Strongman and things. There's so many rules and yet there's no rules. And it means so much and yet it means fuck all.
Little. Yeah, I think going back to the natural strongman banning for life thing, I find it really hard. I think if this case hadn't been brought out all over Instagram, I think
that's the touchy bit, isn't it?
I think it would have been a very
publicised too much.
Yeah, 100%. I think if she'd maybe held back a little bit, maybe, and contacted the promoters and tried to have maybe an adult discussion about it, because I know them promoters and they're not dicks. They're sound, all of them. They're really, really sound. They're really sensible people, and they're really nice people. And I don't think they would have had as much of a problem if it had been brought to them in a sensible manner. But it wasn't. It was a straight out rip on Instagram for everyone to see, which became this big meme thing, and then it spiraled out of control very fast.
I just don't think that you should bite to stuff like that, though.
Very hard, though, when it's all still very small and personal.
I'd very much want to deal with it face to face with that individual rather than brandish everything online.
Yeah.
For it to just stay forever. Because that's never going away, and thousands of people are going to see all of that and going to see your emotional responses.
Yeah.
And as a business owner, loosely, I use that term. Very loose.
As a businessman.
I say cunt, I smoke weed, I've taken drugs. But I will always try and uphold myself in a professional manner when it comes to my business.
100%, and I think as well, this is a very interesting point in Strongman that's been very relevant over the last few weeks, is not reacting immediately to bad press.
Yeah.
In air quotes.
Hey guys, all press is good press, really, isn't it? There's
press.
no such thing as bad.
No, there isn't.
Because it's all publicity.
But if you react badly to bad press,
people remember that.
People will remember that and
They'll
how
think,
you behave.
That person's a little bit fiery, aren't they?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to tread carefully around them.
100%, and this, I think that's massive in Strongman, and I think that again comes down to the fact
Hot-headed
that
fuckers, yeah, there's lots of them.
That's why official Strongman is as big as it is, because it's a professional setup. Like, there's not people fucking kicking off and commenting on live streams because someone said something maybe a little bit against the bone about some throwing bags. Like, there's not. They're just that you're not going to get that reaction from official Strongman, are you? Because they know. They don't need to react to bad press. Bad press will dwindle its way out anyway.
Yeah.
Like, and most of the time it isn't bad press.
No.
It's just someone kicking off about something that'll probably create a bit of good press and bring more people in the sport anyway.
But, like, don't ban them. Prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Show that this is a worthy fucking competition for them to return to in the future.
I do think, we don't know the full story. There's always multiple sides to multiple stories, isn't there? So we don't know the full crack. But I feel like if you're going to ban someone from Strongman forever, it has to be, like, it's going to have to be violent crimes, boys.
Yeah,
like,
it
Jesus
wasn't
Christ.
an assault.
No. It was someone chatting shit on Instagram.
Yeah. Words. Ooh, ow.
This is literally what I do.
Ouchie. Hey, Becca, you're a cunt.
Imagine if I got banned.
Are you going to ban me from your house?
No.
See?
Yeah, it's just, people are just a bit touchy, aren't they?
They are. Come on, guys. Roll a joint. Everyone, please.
Collectively.
Take up marijuana. Because we can achieve world peace.
I don't think we can promote that, but anyway, we can.
Should we do the world's strongest stoned games? Imagine that.
I don't think anything would get done though. Is the problem?
A lot of eating and napping.
Good.
Harry Rogers was really good at napping at Europe's. Did you see that picture? He was like out cold in the what are they called?
In the what? In the what?
In the seats.
In the seats.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell!
You know where Team Wales was, or Team McKeegan? They were all kind of in the corner, weren't they?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It
He
was
was
Team
asleep.
Wales. Yeah. Yeah, he was just flat out on the floor.
That's some effort. That I don't know.
Alexandra
if
Alexa did the same as well. I don't know how anyone could have slept in there.
I don't know how anyone could have slept in there. It was.
I was too busy shitting myself.
I was too busy having constant shits and eating Imodiums.
But the strongest stoned games, there might be a bit less shitting.
I don't think anything would get done. This is the problem, though.
But that would make it so much more entertaining.
Much funnier.
Yeah.
Maybe we should
Thumb wars.
I think we should go back to our original plan of setting up a comp. And it's just a surprise comp from the very beginning.
Yeah.
You don't get to know any of the events. You turn up on the day.
No, because this is going to have to happen. You're going to give that idea to somebody else. Never mind, we didn't say anything. Ignore what you just heard.
I'll cut that out. If anybody steals this idea, I'll fucking find you and I'll call you out on Instagram straight away and ban you from everything ever again.
I am going to collect all of my cat turds and shove them in your face. Right in the mouth.
Yeah, don't steal our ideas.
Or you'll eat
cat
shit.
Actually, we'll know straight away, because if we post it then it's blanketed at our idea.
Whoever does that is going to get a knock on the door.
Why don't we just copyright it now and say, this is our copywritten idea,
Yeah.
and you're not allowed to steal it, and it's a comp where there's mystery events, and every single one's a mystery event.
We should totally do that. When's the season over, though? When could you actually
It never
do that?
ends now.
It's just
It
fucking
never
rolling
ends.
forever.
It never ends. You've got OSG in December, which at least before it was November, so you had a December, didn't you?
Yeah.
Now it's gone.
Nah, job's fucked.
The season never ends.
At least with other sports, there is an active season. Like rugby, you can't play when the ground's too hard.
Oh,
So
God, I wish we had an actual
you
season.
just enjoy yourself over the summer.
I know, and then you could just eat what you want and just
the same
chill
crack with
out
football
and
as well.
train and just
But
have a nice
instead, we have to
time.
do a competition every 2 months.
Well, I know. Well, this is the problem because like the natty qualifiers are in
pardon me.
January, so that just like it's just a cycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
It never stops.
Oh God.
As you can
No.
tell, we're probably a bit sick of Strongman.
Oh, I'm so sick of Strongman. It's been so long. It's been like 11 years.
It has been a really long time. You have been competing a
I'm
very
so
long
bored
time.
of it. And like at least it was smaller and there was less bullshit there was still bullshit, but the world was a lot smaller then, so there was much less of it going on. But now
Yeah.
it's like, God, I hear all sorts of shit, like at least a few times a week.
It does
I'm
feel a
hearing
bit like
about
the
what
Wild
somebody
West.
said about somebody else and who's broken up with who and who's been fingering who and oh God, just fuck off everyone.
It does feel like probably the most dramatic year we've already had, and we're only in fucking
It's
April.
EastEnders, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like
it is.
sport EastEnders.
But do you know what? I always said that this wouldn't it be such a good Netflix like reality TV show, but I
Yeah.
think it would ruin Strongman forever if it happened. There's so much
It's
drama.
genuinely filled with ugliness.
It's oh my God, the stuff that goes on is horrific sometimes, isn't it? But what a TV show it would make.
Yeah.
It'd like wipe the floor with like Geordie Shaw and stuff like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be next level, but it would probably ruin us all forever.
I'm fine with that.
I don't think I am. I quite like my life.
I'm just gonna run for a while until I like it again.
Yeah, we can just have breaks running, being running people.
I think that's the maybe that's the point that we were trying to climax at. Always have something else.
Yeah.
You can put it down for a little while. You can put Strongwoman down for a little while. You can always go back to it. Now there's masters classes. You can do it over 40s. You can do it over 50s. Maybe one day you'll be able to do it over 80s.
Yeah.
But just take time out, chill. Chill, do something else.
Yeah.
Go and get yourself a life for a little bit. You know, smell the flowers.
Yeah, just don't put all your eggs in the basket.
No.
Because the Strongman basket, as we
It
know,
literally
is
is
volatile.
meaningless.
Yeah, well, it is meaningless as fucking it. Like, I think the only benefit that I feel like at the moment that'll push me forward is that 1.7 mil road prize pot. That's the only thing keeping me
You know
going
you're not going to get
forward.
all of that, though.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't matter. A little bit
You're
of
going
it'd
to
be
get some
alright.
of it. Mm. Ooh.
I don't need the full lot, just a small amount would be great.
But yeah, that's a good indicator that the sport's levelling up again.
Heading the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
ace. Women getting paid exactly the same fucking amount as the men.
Hell yeah.
That's mint.
Yeah,
More
that's
of
a
that.
super cool part of it, isn't it? Cool. Anyway, I think we've probably fucking KO'd out of all of our Strongman gossip.
Are we doing a silly goose, or was the whole episode silly goose?
Well, I mean, the whole episode has been silly goose, but we did do a bit of research onto a silly goose, so
Yeah.
we might as well do one. I'll just quickly pause while we do the silly goose song, because we can't do it without it.
Oh.
Silly goose. It's silly goose time, where our lips get loose and our minds run free. Silly goose. It's silly goose time, where we chat a load of shit that's of absolutely no use. It's silly goose time.
Right, and we're back in again.
Hope you enjoyed the song.
Because I always do.
Thanks, Emma.
Thanks, Emma. Best song ever. So the silly goose, which I'd found out, we had to actually deep dive into what it was because I'd only written the words avocado gap, and I could not for the life of me remember what the avocado gap was or why I'd written it down. But anyway, we had a little look at my TikToks, which unveiled that it's about the fact that we shouldn't have avocados anymore.
Correct.
Because the whole point of like vegetables and fucking plants and seeds and all that is that the seeds can be spread everywhere or spread by stuff, spread by animals,
naturally,
or spread by the wind or something like that. And avocado seeds are fucking huge, the biggest seeds of all the seeds. And what type of animal is eating them?
and not crunching them.
And to
No,
the point
just
where
swallowing them whole.
Yeah. So we did have a look, and on that TikTok it explained that. Oh, what's the animal called? Good thing I wrote it down.
A megalodon or a
Megatherium.
Mahontratonts.
Close enough.
Began with an M.
It was Megatherium, and it's basically a giant sloth that could eat them whole and then poop out the full seeds.
I like sloths.
I do like sloths. I'm not sure how I'd feel about a giant one, though.
It'd be really slow, though. Like, extra slow. Imagine
Would
it
it,
trying
though?
to move
Because I feel like
all that
sometimes
body.
big things get faster. I wouldn't race an elephant.
Longer limbs. No, I wouldn't.
And that'd mow you down. That's
a baby
massive.
one might, maybe.
I feel like a baby one would still mow you down. It'd be solid,
They're
wouldn't
really
they?
cute, though.
No, I wouldn't want to die like that, though.
No.
But yeah, so that's why we shouldn't have avocados.
But also, there's a lot of land clearance and forest clearance in California, I think, is where they're mostly grown.
Yeah, it is.
And there's a documentary on Netflix about it, about, like, food and the bullshit of the food industry.
Well, because it's that whole thing of, like, that being vegetarian, vegan's better for the planet, innit? But, like, actually growing avocados
We're chopping down ancient
terrible for
trees
the
to
planet.
make space for avocado fucking plants that
Yeah.
shouldn't even exist anywhere.
Yeah, it's a...
It's bullshit, innit?
bullshit.
They're really nice, but come on.
Do we need them? I don't think my life would be any different without avocados.
I think I'd rather just have an egg.
Yeah.
My nice little yolk in an egg.
I do like eggs. Obviously, they're a bit tricky for a vegan. Can't just
I
eat an
don't
egg, can
care. They can go and suck a T-bone steak.
I was wondering where that was going to go, to be honest.
Suck a
See,
fuck.
I'm not bothered about vegans and vegetarians because I'm very much like, if you wouldn't kill your own food, you shouldn't be eating it anyway.
No.
I'm a big believer. If you wouldn't go out and kill that cow to eat that steak, then you shouldn't be eating that fucking steak anyway, in my eyes.
No.
So if you want to be a vegan or a veggie, then that's absolutely fine because I get it's not everyone's bag.
I'd shoot a cow in the head if I had to.
But,
I've shot a pigeon.
yeah,
I've killed stuff.
things have died at my
Yeah.
hands. But I eat them and I use all of them. So
Like Arthur's
I don't
a really
feel bad
good
about
example. He'll bring, you know, a shrew or what are those other things called? A vole, and he'll leave it there, but he'll eat it later. That's
Yeah.
going to be his little snack tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, I don't mind I don't mind animals dying if I'm going to use the whole thing. I hate killing for sport, like just for blood sport.
That is lame.
If you're going out and killing animals just for funnies
You're an
because you
absolute cockwomble.
jerk off to it, then that's not
It
not
doesn't
for
make
me.
you more of a man
No,
at all.
but I would say on the side of that, I do like hunting. But if I'm going to use that animal, so
Yeah.
use another animal to catch an animal.
Pursuing an animal for its flesh, yeah, so that you can actually use it.
Like a natural, like, so I'm not shooting something like using a falcon to go and catch, like, I don't know, a pigeon or like a grouse or something. That's cool and exciting. On the other side of that, well, see, that adds into not eating it. Fox hunting, bin. Because they're not eating them foxes, are they? Foxes are minging. You can't eat them. They taste gross.
Do they? Have you tasted one?
They're called they're from the mustelid family. Quick fact check, I was wrong. I actually meant vulpanoid. And it's like the same family as like badgers and ferrets, and they're just stinky.
Oh,
They've got
okay.
really bad scent glands
They've
or
got
something to
body
do with
odour.
that. Yeah, the meat's like
Those
not
proper
great.
smelly bastards in the gym that have
That's-
never washed their clothes.
Yeah, those people who never
Nobody's
wash their
going to shag
kit.
them.
Well,
No.
that's why you see badgers and foxes all the time on the side of the road because nothing wants to eat them because they're minging.
Oh.
Taste minging. And moles as well. But moles have natural occurring nicotine on their bellies.
What?
There you go.
Who out there is addicted to moles?
Don't know. I need to check that fact because it might be tar, but I'm pretty sure it's nicotine.
My sister's cat brought a mole into the yard one day, alive. And they are really cute until you get near them and try and help them, and then they hiss and spit at you. And then they use their creepy little shovelly claws to try and scrape away through concrete.
I have a really
like
funny story
aliens.
about moles. Oh, I've just googled that and I don't know if it's true. There's something
About nicotine.
moles have something on the belly. Maybe it's tar. I can't remember, but they've got something on them. But when I was really,
Is it
really
a
young,
Newcastle United Football Club tattoo? Is that what they have on their bellies?
I mean, potentially,
Or
who
up
could
the
find
borough?
out? Something about moles anyway. But anyway, back to this story. When I was really young, my cat also caught a mole when I lived with my mum and dad. And it was in the garden. I felt so bad for it. I was like, oh my God, what a cat, what a fucking knobhead. I'm going to go and save this mole. I picked it up. It bit me so hard.
They're awful.
They've got the sharpest fucking
Yeah.
teeth. They are horrific. It bit straight through my fucking thumb.
Damn.
I had to go to hospital, get a fucking tetanus
I bet.
injection. I was fucking raging. I was like, fuck you, mole.
They're awful.
Last time I ever saved one.
Don't ever, unless you've got a shoebox and a tea towel, because that's how I managed to save it unscathed. But, you know, my dignity was a little bit,
Abashed.
I was frightened.
Yeah, see, I don't mind moles. Like, if they were in my garden, I'd just be like, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not precious about grass, but
No.
I get they are a bit of a pest. But, yeah, they're so aggressive. I'm like, I want to like you, but I don't.
I'm not a fan of them.
Have you ever seen a champagne mole? They're like yellowy white coloured. They're really rare. If you catch one as a mole catcher, it's like the fucking shit.
Do you keep it alive and then sell it?
Well, no, because if you catch your moles, you usually catch them in traps that kill them straight away, so...
Oh no. So you just like top dog for a little bit. Champagne moles.
Yeah. Have a look for champagne moles. They're really cool. I know a guy who got one and got it stuffed.
All I've got is a picture of a watermelon.
What?
And a flower, and a bottle of Chateau de Mole.
Interesting. Oh, mine's changed it to champagne mile, that's why.
Oh,
Let me have a look. Champagne mole. Oh, no, yeah, I've just got bottles of champagne, too.
Moe. It's just bringing up Moe.
Champagne mole's definitely a thing. I feel like I've just made up a load of bullshit about moles now.
Albino mole.
They call them champagne moles.
Well, it's a fucking albino, mate. Look at it. That's come up straight away.
Yeah, but they call them champagne moles.
Well, that's fine, but all I could see was bottles of champagne.
Well, if you want to find out what champagne mole looks like, Google albino mole.
It's an albino mole.
And if anyone wants
There's
to
a little
fact check
Google
me,
hack for you.
there you go. You can fact check me on my mole facts,
They're
which
quite
have all
cute
been
though,
wrong.
aren't they?
They do look quite nice, don't they?
It's like a tiny little, you know, like a dog willy just popping out of a little tuft of fur. Is that its face?
Yeah, because they don't have eyes, do they?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're blind.
So it does look like a dog willy.
Yeah, they're just blind, and then they sniff out the worms.
Their hands are creepy eyes.
Their hands are so creepy.
I don't like
hate
them.
Me. And they're like just the wrong way around, aren't they?
They're broken. God, what did you do?
Very good at digging though. You know what? One of the most fun things is in the world. Well, it's maybe not the most fun thing in the world, but finding like having a molehills and then going and finding like the run and being able to like dig your fingers and find the run that they've been running down and stick your fingers down the run.
And hopefully don't get bitten by one.
I didn't really ever think of that, but I'm usually doing it because I'm setting a trap for the bastards anyway.
Richard really likes molehills because they dig up old like pottery and stuff like that, so you can find like little bits of you can find like old coins and stuff in molehills if you carefully like brush it away.
It's like natural metal detecting.
Well, it's just
walls
unearthing
are
all
doing
of
it
the
for you.
stuff, yeah, that's buried underneath the earth.
Maybe we've been too harsh on moles.
They are archaeologists.
Maybe they are. To be fair, when you see them, they did things, don't they, where they fill, like, obviously not live mole, like, warrens and stuff, where they fill it all and then they see, like, where they've been running around.
Yeah,
and they make
like
crazy.
one of those little worm things, a little worm habitat where you've
like
got
a worm
two panes
cast,
of glass.
yeah.
They're cool. Worms are cool.
I feel like worm farms were a really big thing when we were kids, and now no one has them.
Just bugs. Bugs in general really in. You know, like...
Yeah, they went through a bit of a phase, didn't they?
Sea monkeys were good. We had stick insects.
I don't talk about stick insects here.
Sorry.
But yeah, I agree. I think it'll bring insects back. Bring having insects as pets back.
Pet bugs. Not creepy big ones, not like a scorpion. I don't want one of them.
No, I don't know. I'd have one of them. I really want a tarantula, but Ben won't let me have one in the house.
Yeah, we've discussed this. You need to swap boyfriends.
But yeah, I think bring back worm farms. We should all have worm farms.
Worms are very good for the planet. We need more of those.
I love worms. Do you know what as well? I've got them in my house plants, and I am buzzing about it. I don't know how they've got
It's like
there.
a little ecosystem.
Yeah, it is. I'm
That's nice.
so happy about it. But how the fuck they got in there, I do not know.
Maybe Alan. Did Alan bring one in?
Alan doesn't go outside. He's too scared.
Oh, a little funny.
Yeah. But
Get a grip, Alan.
they've got there somehow, and I appreciate them. They're doing the God's work, aren't they? And them plants, keeping them all alive for me.
That's it.
And I'd
This
have
is
to
how
do
things
nothing.
work. Exactly. Circle of life.
The circle of life, baby.
We're
Anyway,
all worm food.
I think that's probably enough for today.
Yeah, over and out.
See yous on the next one, maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe we'll have some topics that are actually...
Maybe it'll be coherent.
I hope this was.
It definitely wasn't.
Nobody cares. Worst episode ever.
Nobody cares. We don't care. Don't tell us you hated it. All
Go
right.
fuck yourself.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.